What's going on, Phillies fans? Welcome to the Fighting's Final. Big Al here tonight for your Friday night breakdown. And what a kind of a roller coaster ride that ended in a little bit of a for the Phillies tonight. They lose to the Nationals. I hate saying that as much as we have said it lately, 5-4. And what looked like Phillies having some late game heroics turned out to be Nationals late game heroics who won it all for them. 5-4 victory for the Nationals. They go to 53-75, fifth in the NL East. And the Phillies fall to 74-54, and that's first still in the NL East, which we'll get into all that breakdown as we're creeping up on the end of August. Welcome into the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Like I said, I'm Big Al, Al Z, or Big Al Z, Big Al Sports with a Z on X. If you want to follow me for any of my great wisdom and insight. I refuse to rock any of those Friday night blue and yellow jerseys or anything. So you'll get some blue claws, blue and yellow from me. But that's about it for me tonight, guys. But it's 5-4. Phillies lose to the Nationals. Taijuan Walker. This was an up and down game. Didn't start off too great. Kind of it was mediocre for a little bit. Like I said, late game heroics for the Phillies, which looked like Duran comes in looking like he's, Duran's going to shut the door on this case, being up 4-3. But it didn't work out that way. Duran is actually human, I guess. He has some flaws to his game, and today was one of those flaws, and it did not pan out for the Phillies. And like I said, we'll get into all those specifics as we go along. Mickey, what's going on, my friend? It's good to see you. I wish we had a little bit better victory to talk about. Again, these Nationals, fifth in the NL East, not a great team. Beleaguered bullpen. You thought when they got to the bullpen, it would have been all, sunshine and rainbows for the Phillies. And then getting to Duran up 1-0 in the ninth would have been all but a done deal. But it was not the case tonight. So there is that. A lot of pluses, but more minuses that ended up to a minus for a baseball game. So let's talk about the pitcher tonight right now. Taijuan Walker, who, let's be honest, and I was one of those guys. You heard it here, right here. I was on with Matty B in the past. I was on with the other guys. And I said a numerous amount of times, we all wanted to drive Taijuan Walker to the airport. We wanted him out of town. We couldn't deal with him. He's a bum. And I guess it was 2023 2023, and he wasn't even on the roster at the time, and he was shooting off at the lips online and all that stuff, and that didn't bode well, and it didn't work much better into 2024 for him. Very up and down season. Didn't start this season that great. But give the man credit where credit's due. The Devil Warriors do it. For a number 5 guy, he's definitely doing his job the way he should. And he is just, I don't know, at peace, centering himself, doing his job, getting a good paycheck, might I have to be a number 5 guy. So let's remember that. So maybe like somebody came to him and said, hey, Taijuan, be happy with what you got. It could be a lot worse. They're gonna if nobody wants you. They're stuck with you just because they signed this contract with you. So find yourself, reinvent yourself. But even tonight, like, he started off bad. He had a really tough first inning, 38 pitches in the first inning. Struggled with his command. Didn't throw any quality pitches. Just kind of what we've seen from Taijuan Walker in the past. Kind of crept up on him a little bit, and that's kind of where we were at. And I'm like, oof, everybody kind of. But after the first inning, he really did buckle down. The first inning was tough. He got a couple guys on base, and then Riley Adams, 3-run home run to center field, scoring Josh Bell and C.J. Abrams, and it was 3-0 in the first inning. Well. Didn't look like it was going to be great. Great start for the Phillies on that one. It was Taijuan not going to go very long, 38 innings. Well, he like I said, got 38 pitches in the first inning. He did his job, and 5 innings pitched. He could have probably won a 6th inning, maybe Maybe they still want to. They wanted to end them on a good note. They figured they had a rested bullpen from being the day off yesterday. Whatever it shall be, they 5 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Of those, only the 4 runs that were scored, but only allowed 3 hits throughout the whole 5 innings. So I mean, it's just one bad pitch, which ended in 3 runs, 3 walks. That didn't help. 5 strikeouts, and of course that home run I just mentioned about was the one that burned him. But he's 3.44 ERA. But again, I'm trying to give him the credit. This like that bright spot. He could have the normal Taiwan Walker would have been hands in his pocket, kicking rocks, just not happy. He would, but this has been kind of his MO since, I don't know, May. And he's giving you quality starts. You're getting those 5 innings, which is huge for pitchers. 5, 6 innings, especially in the 4, 5 spot guys, and he's doing his job. 3.44 ERA. He's getting guys out. He's probably throwing more pitches than he probably would like to, or you would like to have a couple more clean innings. But again, for a 5-hole hitter, he's doing his job. We don't have to worry about him in the postseason. And maybe he goes into the pen. Maybe they put him and Luzardo together as a 1-2 punch. If Luzardo gets gets choppy early in the playoffs, and they need a 4th guy, and it's kind of a 1-2 punch of him and Luzardo. I don't know. We'll find out. Luzardo had a much better start the last time he was out. But then Banks comes in and only lets up 1 hit, 1 walk in 1 inning. Alvarado came in 1 hit. Strom came in, a lot of 1 hit and a strikeout in his 1 inning. But it's Duran. Duran is the guy who, he is fallible. He does. He's, first blown save in a Phillies uniform tonight. I hate saying that, but it is what it is. Duran, our defense, did not do well in the 9th. Yeah, we'll get into that in a moment. That didn't help the situation, because the guy who was the hero at that point also kind of gave the lead up with an errant throw, trying to throw a guy out at third base. That is my guy, JT Realmuto. He was probably trying to do too much, trying to get a guy out, and it cost them dearly. Like I said, 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs. Only one of them was earned because of the errant throw. 3 strikeouts. Duran saw 1.93 ERA. If he's going to make mistakes, I guess this is where we want it, Star Wars. This is where you want him to have it. This is the time you want him to have his mistakes. But it wasn't. But one thing before we go further, I do want to do one thing because, my kids, my family, very, very important to me. Today was my 23-year-old son's birthday. That's right. My 23-year-old son. Yeah, let that settle in for a second. So he was actually at the game. I guess he had a very up and down roller coaster game like we all did. So I wish Kevin, happy birthday from Dad. So guys, just give him a wish in your head, happy birthday. But let's go through some of the scoring, and then we'll break down some of the box scores, or the box score here as we go along. So as I said, after those 3 runs, we're up in the first. The Nationals up 3-0. In the bottom of the second, Trey Turner grounds to the force out. And then Nick Castellanos scores. Bryson Stott out at second. Trey Turner at first. They were trying to turn a double play. It was just not there fast enough, which would allow the run to score, making a 3-1, and it would stay that way all the way to the bottom of the second. Or bottom of the 6th. I'm sorry, bottom of the 6th. Bryson Stott homers. Yes, you heard that right. Number 9 on the year. Bryson Stott homers on a fly ball to right field, scoring him and Nick Castellanos as Nick sits there at third base and just waves at the ball leaving the yard. There's another bright spot. There's 2 bright spots I mentioned. Nick Castellanos, we're going to talk about him in a moment. Much better game tonight. If he's starting to come around, this team can continue to do well. I mean, the Nationals, we call them Nats for a reason, because like Nats at a picnic, you're waving your hand, they're in your face. They're annoying. They're just that bad team that's annoying when you play them. That's the team on the year that we're dealing with. So with that being said, Bryson Stott home run ball will be a 2-run home run. making it 3-3, tying the game up at the bottom of the 6th, which brings us to the bottom of the 7th with JT Realmuto, another big bright spot, a guy who I feel has not get enough credit. Now, I'm sure a lot of people, including Matty B, will give me a lot of grief on him because he did ultimately blow the game with an error. But he also gave him the opportunity to win the game at that point. JT home runs 10 on the year for number 10, making it 4-3. And, we would kind of cruise the ninth inning. Hopefully, Duran would shut this thing out and we would go home with a victory and I'll be really happy, but it did not play that way at all. As I mentioned earlier, happy birthday, Kevin. I got, yes, you got his name right, but his name is spelled a little weirdly. Long story on it, but it's Kevyn, but not your fault. Nobody knows that. It's not a very common way of spelling it. But thank you, Mickey. I appreciate that from truly. So then Dylan Lyle, who is a definite not to the Phillies because he is just always seems to be on that wrong side of it for us, who's causing a lot of the problems for the Phillies. He singles on a line drive left to left field. Dylan Cruz scores. He's at second. It is now a tied game, 4-4. We're sitting there going, okay, tied game, blown save. That's fine. Let's get these guys there. We see we can move them over, give us a fighting chance. But he steals third, as I mentioned. He goes from second to third, stealing the ball. JT throws off his knee towards Bohm to throw him out. It gets past Bohm, allowing Lyle to score, making it 5-4. And the Nats were able to close it out from there after Pollen came in, throwing 2 full innings with 3 strikeouts. The Phillies didn't have anything against him tonight. And that was the end of the game. And it's a tough game. It's a tough game. The plus side, Stott's still hitting well, JT still hitting well. Bad error from JT. Let's go up to the box scores for a second. Realmuto, I'll start with his. He was Castellanos. He was 3 for 4 tonight, 2 runs scored. So that was big for him. Over lately, he's been hitting a little bit more and more. Like I said, he gets hot. This could be big for us. It's gonna be real big for the Phillies if he's hot. Harper or Realmuto stays hot. Stott continues to hit as he has. It could be big. Turner was 0 for 5 tonight with a 1 RBI on that bottom of the second one we talked about earlier with 3 strikeouts. Schwarber was 0 for 3 tonight with 2 walks and a strikeout. Harper was 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Realmuto was 1 for 3 with a run scored. The RBI, which was the home run we talked about earlier, to give him the lead in the 7th. Bohm was 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Marsh was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Castellanos, as I said, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored. Kepler was 0 for 3 tonight. Bader came in. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Stott was 2 for 4 with 1 run scored and 2 RBIs, which was that 2-run jack we did discuss earlier. But that is the tonight. So it wasn't great hitting all around, but like I said, the guys who have been producing. They went up against a young Cavalli. Is it Cavalli? I think it's Cavalli if you pronounce it right. Young guy's really gotten a little, starts here so far this year. I think he's only thrown after tonight, I don't know, 18, 20 some pitches. But 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs all earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. But he definitely kept our lefties off balance for the most part. And usually the struggling bullpen, but the last 3 innings did a great job. Put this team a bunch of offers with 4 strikeouts. But overall, Nats pitching only 9 innings, only allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, and 2 walks with 10 strikeouts and the 2 home runs. Phillies pitching let 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned on that error, as we mentioned earlier, 4 walks, 9 Ks, and 1 home run. I know you're asking that question, so how can't we play the Nats well? Why can't we? I guess we sweep a better team and we can't. That's kind of like happens so much especially in baseball, like because you play guys so many times, and there's always that team that's annoying to you, an annoyance to you, and a lot of times a divisional team. Miami was that for a while for us. They were just no matter how bad Miami was, it was a house of horrors for us to go to Miami, and even when they came here, they gave us a hard time. The Nats just seem to be the 2025 pain about. I mean, like I said, they're rightfully called the Nats because they're pesky and annoying. You know what I mean? And they don't quit, and they have a bunch of young guys who are trying to prove themselves, and they have a decent core if they keep it together and they keep the build around it. The Nationals could be a decent team in the not too distant future. So it could be interesting to see how the future of this all kind of really plays out, Star Wars. But it is annoying, and it is mind boggling that you just swept a really good Mariners team, a really hard hitting Mariners team. You kept the hits down minimum. The only guy given in the National League really, who's going toe to toe with Schwarber for home runs, kept him off the big dumper. But the Nats are just that annoying team. But they tend to either tie or win the series in the long run. So hopefully now they got to just get 2 in a row now and keep winning the series. Keep getting the W's in. Keep the Mets behind you. Tonight was not one of those nights, but you can't give them an inch because they are I was on social media today just scrolling through, and I happened to run into a bunch of Mets sports social media guys, bloggers, whatever. And they are like giving up on that team already. That team, and I get it. I think they're like 5 and 16 in the last 21 games or something like that. Like they're really just struggling, and I get it. I mean, right now our Phillies are doing a whole lot better, and our fan base doesn't give them the credit that they deserve half the time. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to tell you JT sucks. No, JT doesn't suck. JT made a bad move today. And I know I'm going to be called a JT apologist, but I love JT. I think his game is just the way he calls games. The way the defense is great, except for tonight. I mean, are we going to say Duran's a bum because he blew a save tonight? That's how I look at things. It was just a cascading issue of problems tonight that caused them to lose this game and give up the lead in the ninth inning. And 100% doesn't make it any better. No matter how I explain it, Star Wars, it's not going to make it any better. Like, I'm not going to tell you anything that's going to make you go, oh, yeah, well, all right, no big deal. No, it sucks. That's that team. And I don't think we play them except for one more, right? I think one more time in September. Actually, it's a really good question that you made me think of here, and I want to see if this is true. Sorry, so I know this is dead air. Nobody likes dead air, but I'm just looking at. No, actually, is this it? This is it. I think this is it for us. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yep, this is it. So this is it. I'm gonna say this is it one more time, but um, but these next 2 games, the only 2 games left. Just get through them, win the series, and then we're done with the Nats. Like, not that we don't have any other teams. I mean, we got a 1-2-3 punch of National League East rivals coming up because after this we roll right into a 3-game series with the Mets in New York, and then a 4-game series with Atlanta next week. So this is big week for us. Like, I mean, the Phillies can't start to slow down right now. They can't stop smelling themselves after, like you said, beating the Mariners and just being really hot lately. This is a really important got to win it week for this team in my eyes. If you come out on top here, you win all your series, 2 or 3 of the Mets, and it would be nice to say 3 or 4 of the Braves, but even 2 or 2. If you think about it, if you beat the Mets 2 out of 3 times, you keep them down even a notch, and then they only get one more chance in a 4-game series against us. So you could ultimately, like, not mathematically, but you can really put your foot on the throat of the NL East this week if you just keep focus here. And I hope that's not sitting in the back of their head, but human, we'll find out. Ricky is watching. Thank you, Ricky Deal. It's always a pleasure to watch. I know you see the Eagles up there, and we will have an Eagles post-game show with Mike Laro. There'll be no wraparound tonight. So it's just going to be the post game show. So I'm talking all Phillies here, and of course currently, and then Mikey Laro is going to come in and do a post game show for the Eagles Jets preseason. I know it's not exciting right now. Last time I saw was 6-0, but we'll talk to it. We'll talk. I'm sure Mike will have plenty to talk about tomorrow about it. So that's why I'm going to keep moving along here. Hey, Al, Duran is human. Yeah, they're all human, Dave. I mean, again, make the mistakes now, settle yourself in tomorrow. So this doesn't, I'd rather have it now than September, October. You know what I mean? Have it against the Nationals team, pump yourself up, uh, dust yourself off, and just don't let the pressure come on you. Phillies got to win tomorrow. Ellis, I mean, I don't say it's a have to win, but yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose the series here. You don't want to give Mets and fans hope that the Phillies, you went high and now they're not going to go on a low or anything like that. Yeah, no, it's just from a mentality standpoint and keeping things going. I mean, like I said, the good things we could take from is JT still hitting. JT has one of the highest batting averages in the National League since like June 1st. I've said it 100 times. Like I think he's like number 2 right now. And he's hitting better. He seems confident at the plate. He knew that home run was a home run tonight. It was an errant throw to third base. It can happen to the best, and it did happen to the best. Still one of the best defensive catchers, even at his age, in my eyes, in Major League Baseball. And I know a lot of people just would love to run him out of town for whatever reason, but I don't think there's much better out there at this point that would even be available. That's a good question. Matt is going live tonight. If he is, I did not know that. Matt is he doing? What's he doing? I don't think Matt's going live tonight. No, because he isn't. I don't think he's going live tonight, Ricky. I'm pretty sure he's not, unless something changed earlier today that I missed. But with that being said, is Phillies did lose tonight 5-4. For those who are just joining us, Duran has first blown save in Phillies pinstripes. Aaron throw, all things that are oddities. A blown save by one of the best closers in baseball. An Aaron throw, one of the best defensive catchers in baseball in my eyes. So hopefully it's just these oddities can be moved past from and moved on from, and that's it. And it's just, move on to the next one. Hopefully these guys don't just get caught up in it. And that's what we want to see. So let's move along, because we are going to get to Mikey Laro is going to be coming in for the post game show, or the Eagles post game show. So let's take a trip down the old Broad Street bottom line. All right, guys. So Broad Street bottom line. Bottom line is real tough loss with circus of errors, just different things that hopefully just doesn't happen again, and move on from it. But the good thing is the bright spots are coming. Is you're seeing a lot of fight from this team all around. You're seeing a fight from Taijuan Walker. You're seeing fight from the offensive guys who've been struggling all year long. I mean, guys have been struggling all year. Bryson Stott all year long. And I'm going to ask my son to quietly move. And this isn't the one I like. So they think they're real funny. So other than that, yeah, no, it's just, I think the bright spot from this team right now is overall, outside of the couple errors today that we saw, that this team can be better. Has been getting better. And all the right time, like all the right moments, like all the guys that have been struggling offensively are getting better. All the guys who've been struggling defensively have gotten better. Like pitching has been a lot better. Just outside of the moments tonight, I'm hoping it's a blip on the radar, something that just can be looked past. We'll find out tomorrow. That's why I agree with what Ellis said earlier. This is not a normal must win, but it's a need to win to kind of to clean the taste out of your mouth of this situation. Like they didn't go out there and get spanked by the Nats. They beat themselves. Like it's that old cliche saying, we didn't get beat, we beat ourselves, or they didn't beat us, we beat ourselves. That's exactly what happened here. And Yeah, they just got to turn it around and they got to win it all. Win the rest of the series. They just can't do it in, don't have any flexibility. They got to do it in 2 straight games now. So other than that, guys, let's take a trip around the base. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me remind you guys. As I said, in the not too distant future from right now, you can stay tuned and talk a little Eagles football with Mike Lauro. Today's preseason game with the Jets, the last preseason game before it all starts up. That's right. Football's right around the corner, and you'll have more of these birds flybys. Don't worry about it. Talking Philadelphia Eagles with Mike Lauro. Speaking of Mike Lauro, Happy Valley Huddle. That's right. Your Penn State football post-game show hosted by our man, Mike Lauro, exclusively here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Starts up real soon. I think August 30th. That's right. So you got that coming up. We also have Sundays with Pat and Mike and myself with the PM and the AM crew. The Final Word with Matty B, Sundays through Thursdays. Normally, just not tonight, Friday at 10:30, it's the wraparound with Pat Bernard, but it is not tonight. And, of course, talking Philadelphia Union Soccer with Pat and Steve, the attacking third. So check that all out. And I think here is the rest of your week. Oh, it's all Matt for the rest of the week. So you got tomorrow and Sunday with Matty B. And I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. And don't forget Sundays he does Down on the Farm, where he'll talk about the guy. It's one of the guys that are sitting on my hat right now. The Blue Claws, the Iron Pigs, the Fightins, the Thrashers, and the Reading Phillies. So you got all those great teams covering because we are baseball junkies. So let's now, like I said, take that trip around the bases. All right, guys, let's take a trip around the bases and see all the games that have gone final tonight. Pirates just wallop the Rockies in Pittsburgh 9-0. Of course, the Nationals beat the Phillies 5-4, as we've been talking about this whole time. Red Sox beat the Yankees in a real barn burner 1-0 today. That's final. Astros are 10-6 in the bottom of the 8th, up 10-6 against the Orioles. Top of the 9th, the Detroit Tigers are up 7-3 over the KC Royals. Final for the night, Blue Jays, Marlins. Blue Jays won 5-2. The Mets are just piling on the Braves right now, 12-2 at the bottom of the 8th. The Rays and Cardinals slugged it out to a 7-6 victory for the Rays, not victory, up 7-6 right now at the bottom of the 7th. Twins are up 7-4 over the White Sox in the top of the 7th. The Rangers are up 2-1 over the Guardians at the bottom of the 7th. The Giants and Brewers are knotted up at 2 in the top of the 6th. Cubs are up 1-0 over the Angels right now in the top of the 2nd. The Dodgers and the Padres are knotted up at 0-0 in the top of the 2nd. Reds and Diamondbacks also 0-0 bottom of the 1st. And the Athletics and Mariners start at 10-10. So that is your MLB game or around the bases. And since we're this late in the season, I love to talk in the wild card. So let's talk wild card and let's look at what's going on. Right now, your division leaders are the Brewers, the Phillies, and the Dodgers. In that order, the Milwaukee Brewers have the best record in National League right now. And I think in baseball, if I'm correct, yep, in baseball still. At first team to hit 80 games, 80 and 48. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They won tonight. Phillies are 74 and 54 with a 578 winning percentage. We are 5-5. We're 5-5 in our last 10 games. Of course, we lost tonight. And the Dodgers are 73 and 55, right behind the Phillies. They're 5-5 in their last game, in their last 10 games with one currently in a game right now, but they're only in a 1-game winning streak. So right now, that means your NL wild card leaders are the Cubs in the top spot, 5.5 games. Padres are 4.5 games. And the Mets right now are hanging on by half a game above the Reds at 67 and 60, which most likely they'll be 68 and 60. And the Reds are a half game out. The Cardinals are 4 games out. Diamondbacks are 5.5 games out. San Fran 6.5 games out. Miami's 7.5 games out, and the Braves are 9 games out, probably be about 9.5 games out. And then it really, at that point, it's 13, 14.5, and 31 for the Pirates, Nationals, and Colorado Rockies. Just looking over at the American League right now, the Detroit Tigers are top of the AL at 76 and 53. Toronto's are number 2, top in the East, 75 and 54, and Houston's top of the West at 70 and 58. Detroit's on a really good 8-2 in the last 10 games. Their AL wild card right now is looking at Boston at number 1 at 1.5 games at 70 and 59. The Yankees at 69 and 59 at 1 game. The Mariners are 68 and 60, and with the Royals 2 games out, Cleveland 3 games out, Texas 5.5 games out. So that AL wild card is tight in the wild card race and tight looking in. So they, keep your eye on that. That could shift as time goes on, especially over the next few weeks, because we are getting into it, guys. 9 days, or 9 days, 10 days left, I guess, totally in or 9 days. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is 9 days. It's 22nd. 9 days left in August. So not a lot of baseball to be had. So little room for error for all around in baseball. And just so you know, I don't know if anybody's gone over this with you guys yet. 2025 MLB postseason schedule. Wild card is going to be run from September 30th to October 2nd. So, NLDS runs from October 4th to the 11th. And ALDS will run from October 4th to the 10th. The NLCS will run from October 13th to the 21st. And ALCS will run from the 12th to the 20th. And then the World Series will be between the 24th and November 1st. So that is what we're looking at. I know it sounds like a far time away, but it is not. September, most people's kids may even start at back to school. I know my kids in Springfield, Delaware County, start back on Tuesday. I know some other surrounding places start on Monday. I know it's a lot of half days, and then Labor Day, and then you're into September. So a lot of baseball to be had, a lot to talk about. Football starting, coaching the Clifton Heights Rams again this year. So youth football, big things, a lot of good things going on, guys. So go out and support your local youth football team or your one you grew up with or whoever your kids play for. It can be very entertaining, and it helps support great organizations. I've got to get to be witnessed or part of. So other than that, guys, we're getting to the end of the Eagles game, and I want to leave time for Mikey Laro to come in and go through all this with you guys. So other than that, Phillies fall 5-4 to the Nationals. Again, let's just dust this off and move on, hopefully. This team's been way too hot and way too fun to watch lately to see them kind of start to fall off, especially against three series in a row in the NL East. So we'll find out. Time will tell. Let's see. The fight is truly in the fight. And other than that, I'm Big Al. Find me at Big Al Sports with a Z on X. Other than that, guys, have a great night. And remember to subscribe to the It's a Wrap Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok as well. It's all out there, all over the place. Check it out. We will see you guys next time.